Them say Andrew are wicked. How it might take so long to fix back everybody's house? But what is the true responsibility of a government? The sooner the people them actually find out, it's the better it's going to be for them. Because really and truly, the government, unfortunately, is not going to rescue all of us. And the sooner we realize that, is the better we can shift and go into our own rebuilding mode. We have to understand that all governments across the world have limitations, especially a government as tiny as Jamaica. Them say it's $7 billion in damages. That is the assessment. So we're talking about roads, bridges, everything combined. Also private homes. $7 billion. In a perfect world, it would be nice for the government to go out and borrow that $7 billion and make sure that everything is fixed back to normal. But that has never happened in human history. This is what the government normally do in a disaster. Similar to Melissa. Let's take a look right here. Government responsibilities. Immediate response, we're talking about the first 72 hours. You see, the thing is, we have to educate ourselves, right? And stop make social media wannabe scholars, yeah? Feeding them with misinformation, believing that the government is going to rebuild your house with mashed down. Then we give you some materials, but it's up to you to rebuild it, yeah? Normally, people would have insurance on their property in the event of a disaster. When the disaster come and mash down the house, the insurance company would rebuild it. Just like your car, if your car meet in a car accident, right? The insurance company, you are required to actually have insurance on a car to drive on the road, right? But you are not required to have insurance on a house if the house have no mortgage on it. If the house have a mortgage on it, in most cases you're required to have insurance, because if the house mash up or blow down or catch a fire, the mortgage company want to make sure that there's money in place to rebuild that structure. I would say most of the homes that hurricane destroyed didn't have any insurance, and then that's the way the pickle come in. Now we're all dependent on the government to rebuild a lifetime of savings, but it's not going to happen. Take it from me, Mark, let me say it again, it's not going to happen. The most the government is going to give you is some cash grants towards purchasing material, and the rest is on you. And the government will actually provide food for a limited period of time, for the period of time where the entire area is able to get up and going again. Once the area is up and going again, all them food subsidies is going to stop and we're on our own. That's just the reality. Yeah, that is just the reality. Now let's take a look at the first 72 hours. Immediate response, first 72 hours. Search and rescue, soldier and police deployment, which we have seen, right? Clearing block roads, yeah? Emergency shelters. Well, we have shelters, right? But we need to see more emergency shelters pop up because it's a total devastation and the people them need emergency shelters right away. Medical response, we have seen where we just received a field hospital from Samaritan Purse over there in Black River, and then the damage assessment. So the first 72 hours, that get done already. Yeah, the first 72 hours where we had weaknesses, yes, we had weaknesses. We could have seen more aerial support where we have helicopters flying in and dropping more food. There were aerial support were actually used to transport the ministers to various locations to assess the damages and also to move critically ill patients from one hospital to another. Yeah, well, we need more helicopters in the island that the government can actually purchase, seeing what was lacking in this disaster right here. Then let's move on to the next phase. So phase 1 is over, right? So we're into the next phase right now, short-term relief, days into weeks. Well, this one right here is going to be weeks into months. This right here look like it's going to be the government have to foot food and all them things there for maybe another 6 months, because it is that bad. Yeah. So short-term relief, days to weeks, we're talking about what, like food distribution and water, and we will say this have to continue for a long period of time, maybe 6 months, possibly into a year. Yeah. Temporary shelter support. All right, hopefully within a year we'll see most of those homes rebuild and the people then will be under shelter within a year. That should be done. Small emergency grants, we're going to see that rolling out once everything is stabilized. Tarpaulins and building materials, restoring of electricity and water. So the JPS is working on restoring electricity, tarpaulin and building materials. So Andrew Holness just deployed $10 million each, right? $10 million a piece to each of the MPs in the affected areas. Now that $10 million, yeah, it's a start. It doesn't mean that it's going to be the only disbursement that is going to be allocated to these MPs. No, they're going to be using that to purchase some materials. Yeah, we know $10 million can't purchase materials for thousands of homes. Yeah, so that's where the government will come in with some cash grants to the people them, so them can go buy the materials. And I'm sure there's going to be certain stipulations in order to get those cash grants. The government is going to want to see that you have ownership of that property. If you don't have ownership in that property, unfortunately, you may not qualify for cash grants towards building materials. You're on your own. Cash grants as far as like, yeah, you were in the hurricane and you suffer, yeah, you may have some cash grants there too, right? But as far as like building, you have to probably show proof that you actually own that structure. All right. So here we go now, housing support reality. These are the reality of housing support. Yeah. Small grants only. If your house costs $1 million, the government not gonna give you $1 million to rebuild your house. And a lot of people have said that board house, them, you think board house cheap. So to build a 2-bedroom, 1,200 square feet board house is just about what? Maybe like 1 to maybe 3 million. If that was concrete, you're talking about 3 to 5 million. Yeah. So board house not really that cheap. Yeah. Because you're talking about materials then labor. Yeah. And most of those board houses were well built. All right. So small grants only. Limited material assistance. Full home remodeling usually not provided. Support mainly for elderly, disabled, and extremely vulnerable people. So if you're elderly, yes, the government will step in and give you all the materials to redo your house in those cases. Yeah. Disabled, same thing for the disabled. So not saying that the government is not going to rebuild some home totally. Of course, they're going to do that. Yeah. And the extremely vulnerable people, we're talking about people who are like dirt poor, who can like prove their cases. Yeah, the government is going to rebuild those homes. And what I heard Mr. Andrew Holness was talking about, he's going to rethink the way how they rebuild those structures. So for the short term, yes, give them some material, build what you can build now, so you have a roof over your head, right? But I believe they're thinking about introducing containers. Yeah. Now it will be a wonderful idea for the government to just buy a bunch of containers, count up every house that was actually demolished, right? And buy 10,000 container, 20,000 container. Yeah. As a government effort to actually stabilize that area, because if we build back a bunch of board house again and a category 5 come down the line, we're gonna do this all over again. So it would make sense to make the investment now. Yeah, one container on each land I'm sure the government can get a discount on the container and get them for maybe like a 40-foot container for maybe $500 or a little bit more. Let's say $800. Them can get that discount on it. Yeah? And drop 140-foot container in each of those homes. 20,000 container. Yeah. So you have better structures moving forward. Them can build around the containers if them want them place to be bigger. Yeah. Them can build around the containers. Them can build wooden structures if them want around the container. If a category 5 come and blow down the wood structure, at least they'll be under the container. Yeah. They won't be outside. They won't be displaced. Yeah. So the sufferation would not be as bad. Okay. Now, government long-term duties. So remember, this is based on disaster all over the globe, not just unique to Jamaica, right? So long-term duties of the government is to repair roads and bridges. That's their responsibility. Restore water and electricity network. Reopen schools. Clear drains, rivers, and debris, right? Rebuild public buildings. Support economic recovery. That's the duty of the government on a long-term basis. Yeah. So here are some limitations after Melissa. Massive infrastructure damage. A whole heap of roads get washed away. We're talking about gutters in the road them. Yeah. Billions needed for national repair. It's gonna cost billions of US dollars to repair all the infrastructure that got damaged due to Hurricane Melissa. We have limited manpower and resources. Yeah, most of those workers to rebuild all of them roads there. Hopefully we can use Jamaican labor. That would be the hope. But maybe they have to import foreign engineers to rebuild bridges and roads that got damaged. Yeah. A private home rebuilding mostly falls on families, NGOs, and the diaspora. Okay, so to rebuild your house, your private home, hopefully you have some people are foreign there. We can send you some money and assist with material, and hopefully you're handy enough we can drive some nail in our wood, or you can lay some bricks. Yeah, that will be the hope. NGOs, we're talking about like non-profit groups, non-profit organization from overseas or locally will chip in with some assistance. Yeah, and that's it. That's what normally happens in a disaster, even as bad as Melissa. So the sooner we as a nation, those who were affected, yeah, make sure you have your food secure. That is the key thing, right? Your basic need right now is food and something overhead, even if it's tarpaulin. Yeah. Regain your energy. Try to find like some source of water, regular source of water. We're talking about survival now. We're going in survival mode. You have to survive this, yeah, and you have to build back better. Do not depend on the government to come help you, because them not gonna come help you. Them not gonna go out and borrow $7 billion and give you $1 million to repair or replace what got damaged. It's not going to happen. Maybe Andrew will prove me wrong. Maybe Andrew will create history and do what no other government in the history of mankind has ever done, and make everybody whole after a disaster. Maybe he's gonna do that. And if him do that, he will reign in Jamaica forever. He will never ever lose an election if Andrew is able to replace every single house we get knocked down, every single roof we get licked off. He would go down in history as the only man who has ever done that in a disaster. Yeah? So now, the sooner we understand that yes, we'll get some help, but most of it is going to be on us. We have to dust ourselves off, refocus, get the energy that we need to start putting in the work to rebuild our life. Rebuilding better. Remember, the key point here: food, emergency shelter, recuperate. If you have your wooden structure, build it back. If you have the materials, if you have any scraps remaining on your land, build it back. You have a roof over your head. Start working. If you can go volunteer, or if you can go charge a man, if you have health and strength and you're strong enough after you finish building your structure, go around the community, find places where you can work. The government is going to be employing people for road work. Go look some road work, yeah, and start making some money. You make the money that you save, yeah. There's going to be a lot of work in your area. A lot of work. Every strong back man we down there, and every strong woman we down there. Then it's going to be work for years to come. Construction work. Find something to do within the 6 months to a year. Find something to do after you build back your structure and you stabilize your thing, yeah. And then buy your block one by one. Buy up your block them. Yeah, don't buy the cement yet. Put away some money for the cement, because you know cement, if rain fall upon it, it will go bad. So I wouldn't recommend you to buy no cement yet. Even if you're storing it indoors, don't buy no cement yet. Yeah? Buy your block them one by one. Put away a little thing said that I'm a cement money when we get enough block. 1,000 blocks, you know, can build about maybe a 700 to 800 square feet house, you know. 1,000 blocks. Save them up. Buy up your block them. Buy up your steel. Hide them on the property. Blocks are not easy to steal because they're heavy. Nobody never come to your property and just thief your block them unless them come with trucks. Okay? Buy up your block them, cover them, and that is your long-term solution with people. We can't make another category 5 storm mash you up like this. Alright, my people? God bless Jamaica. I go by the name of this is YaadBoss TV. Please, me I beg you, subscribe and join the journey over here on YouTube. All good. Salute. Peace out.